The magical world of Harry Potter captivated millions, but behind the wands and spells, some beloved actors have tragically left us. What became of Richard Harris, who first brought Dumbledore to life? How did their lives change after the spotlight faded? Are there untold stories of struggle loss or untimely endings lurking behind the magic we loved? Richard Harris, born on October 1st, 1930 in Limerick, Ireland, remains an unforgettable figure in cinema, forever linked with his portrayal of Professor Albus Dumbledore in the first two films of the Harry Potter saga, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, 2001, and Harry Potter, and the Chamber of Secrets, 2002. When he took on the role, Harris was already 71 years old, lending Dumbledore a profound sense of wisdom and fragility that endeared him to audiences. Before Hogwarts, Harris had a long and often turbulent career. He starred in acclaimed films such as This Sporting Life, 1963, which earned him an Academy Award nomination, Camelot, 1967, where he played King Arthur in Gladiator, 2000, in which he gave a memorable performance as Marcus Aurelius. Despite his success, his life was not free from setbacks. Harris was notorious for his wild lifestyle, plagued by heavy drinking and tumultuous relationships, which often overshadowed his professional achievements. His reckless habits cost him health opportunities and strained marriages. Financially, Harris amassed wealth through his decades-long career, with his net worth estimated at around $20 million at the time of his passing. Yet behind the fortune, there were personal struggles, failed marriages, public controversies, and a reputation for being both brilliant and difficult. In his private life, Harris married twice and had 3 sons, including actors Jared Jamie and director Damian Harris. Though his marriages ended in divorce, his children became his lasting legacy. His real estate holdings included properties in London and Ireland, reflecting his taste for grandeur despite years of excess. Tragically, Harris's life was cut short on October 25, 2002, when he died from Hodgkin's disease at the age of 72, just weeks before the release of The Chamber of Secrets. His death was a devastating blow to Harry Potter fans worldwide, leaving behind an irreplaceable void in the franchise. Today, Harris is remembered not just for Dumbledore, but as a man whose brilliance was matched by deep personal battles, a figure of both triumph and tragedy. Dame Maggie Smith, born on December 28, 1934 in Ilford, Essex. England is an acting legend whose name will forever be tied to her portrayal of Professor Minerva McGonagall in the Harry Potter films 2001-2011. When she first appeared in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 2001. Smith was 66 years old, already an acclaimed star of stage and screen, bringing dignity, wit, and quiet strength to the stern but compassionate deputy headmistress of Hogwarts. Smith's career stretches far beyond Hogwarts. She won 2 Academy Awards for The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, 1969, and California Suite, 1978, and delivered memorable performances in classics like A Room with a View, 1985, and Gosford Park, 2001. In more recent years, she charmed global audiences as the sharp-tongued Dowager Countess Violet Crawley in Downton Abbey, 2010-2015. Yet her path was not free from hardships. Smith battled serious health issues including breast cancer during the filming of Harry Potter and The Half-Blood Prince, 2007-2008. She fought through chemotherapy while continuing to work, a testament to her resilience. Financially, her long and decorated career has given her considerable security, with her current net worth estimated at around $20 million. However, behind her success lies personal difficulty. Her marriage to actor Robert Stevens ended in divorce, and her second husband, playwright Beverly Cross, died in 1998, leaving her widowed. These losses marked painful chapters in her personal life, adding a quiet sense of tragedy to her otherwise glittering career. Now in her late 80s, Maggie Smith has stepped back from major roles, but remains a towering presence in the acting world. She has 2 sons, Toby Stevens and Chris Larkin, both actors, and she resides primarily in the UK with property in London. Never one for public scandal, Smith has lived a relatively private life compared to many of her contemporaries. At 90 years old today, she stands as a symbol of endurance, an actress who faced illness, heartbreak, and the demands of fame, yet emerged as one of Britain's most cherished performers. For millions of fans, she is forever Professor McGonagall, strict loyal, and fiercely protective, both on and off the screen. Robbie Coltrane, born Anthony Robert Macmillan on March 30th, 1950 in Rutherglen, Scotland, became immortal in cinema as the lovable half-giant Rubeus Hagrid in the Harry Potter films 2001-2011. When he first stepped into the role in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, 2001, Coltrane was 51 years old, embodying Hagrid's warmth, humor, and deep loyalty so perfectly that he became one of the franchise's most beloved characters. Before Hogwarts, Coltrane had already built a respected career. He rose to prominence in British television, with Cracker 1993-1996 earning 3 consecutive BAFTA awards, and appeared in notable films such as GoldenEye 1995 and The World Is Not Enough 1999 from the James Bond series. Yet despite his comedic genius and dramatic talent, his career was marked by turbulence. His personal battles with alcohol in his younger years, and struggles with health, particularly osteoarthritis, which left him in constant pain and later confined to a wheelchair, cast shadows over his later life. Financially, Coltrane found stability and success, with his net worth estimated at around $4 million. However, his personal life carried its share of turmoil. His marriage to Rona Gemmell ended in divorce in 2003, leaving him a single father to 2 children. Though he maintained a close bond with them, the breakdown of his marriage and declining health weighed heavily on him. In his later years, Coltrane lived a quieter life in Scotland, his mobility limited by illness, but his spirit still sharp and humorous. He remained deeply loved by fans and was often celebrated at Harry Potter reunions, where he movingly reminded audiences that Hagrid will be here long after I'm gone. Tragically, Robbie Coltrane passed away on October 14, 2022, at the age of 72 due to multiple organ failure complicated by sepsis and heart issues. His death left fans mourning the loss of a man who gave the world one of its most comforting and enduring characters. Today, his legacy lives on, not just in cinema, but in the hearts of millions who still see Hagrid as the gentle protector of Hogwarts and Robbie Coltrane as the man who brought him to life. Richard Griffiths, born on July 31, 1947 in Thornaby-on-Tees, England, became widely recognized to global audiences as Vernon Dursley, Harry Potter's cruel and pompous uncle in the Harry Potter series 2001-2010. When he first played the role in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone 2001, Griffiths was 54 years old. His performance brought both menace and absurd comedy to a character that fans loved to hate, making him an essential part of Harry's story. Before stepping into the wizarding world, Griffiths was already a distinguished actor of stage and screen. He earned acclaim for his performance in The History Boys 2004, both on stage and in the 2006 film adaptation, as well as in Withnail and I, 1987. His career was filled with versatility, moving effortlessly between Shakespearean theater, television, and film. Yet behind his success was a life marked by health struggles. Suffering from obesity since childhood, Griffiths endured ongoing battles with his weight, which restricted some opportunities and caused lasting health complications. Financially, Griffiths built a comfortable life, with his net worth estimated at around $5 million. Unlike many in the industry, he avoided major scandals and was respected for his professionalism and warmth off-screen. However, he faced personal challenges, most notably his lifelong struggle with health, which ultimately overshadowed his later years. In his private life, Griffiths married actress Heather Gibson in 1980, a union that endured until his death. Though the couple had no children, their marriage was seen as a stable and loving partnership. Griffiths lived quietly in England, away from the excesses often associated with fame, dedicating much of his energy to his craft. Tragically, on March 28, 2013, Richard Griffiths died at the age of 65 following complications after heart surgery. His passing shocked the theater and film community, with tributes pouring in from colleagues and fans alike. Daniel Radcliffe, who shared many scenes with him, praised Griffiths for shaping his career and for his generosity as a mentor. Today, Griffiths is remembered as both a consummate actor and a kind man whose brilliance brought depth even to unpleasant characters like Vernon Dursley. His legacy is one of immense talent, quiet resilience, and a life touched by both triumph and tragedy. Timothy Sidney. Robert Hardy, better known as Robert Hardy, was born on 29 October 1925 in Cheltenham, England. He became an iconic figure for global audiences when he took on the role of Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic in the Harry Potter films, appearing first in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets 2002. At that time, Hardy was already in his late 70s, bringing to the screen a mix of authority and frailty that suited the character. Before his time in the wizarding world, Hardy had a long and distinguished career in British television and film. He was celebrated for his performance as Siegfried Farnon in the beloved series All Creatures Great and Small, and also portrayed Winston Churchill multiple times with great acclaim. Yet behind the recognition, Hardy also faced struggles. Despite being highly respected, he was often overshadowed by flashier contemporaries, and at times felt typecast into certain authority figures, limiting the variety of roles available to him. Financially, Hardy lived comfortably, but never reached the massive fortunes of modern film stars. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at around 1.5 to 2 million. His personal life carried its share of turbulence. He married twice, first to Elizabeth Fox, then to Sally Pearson, but both marriages ended in divorce. These failed relationships brought him periods of solitude and personal disappointment, though he remained close to his children. Robert Hardy died on 3rd of August 2017 at the age of 91. The cause of death was linked to natural causes, marking the end of a life deeply tied to British stage and screen. Unlike many of his co-stars in Harry Potter, Hardy never sought modern fame or luxury. He lived much of his later years quietly in Oxfordshire, surrounded by books' history and his love for medieval longbows on which he was an expert. Hardy left no glamorous empire of real estate, but he left something far more enduring, a legacy of strong, dignified performances remembered most vividly by a generation of fans as the complicated and wavering Minister of Magic who could not rise to the threat of Voldemort. Sir Michael John Gambon, born on 19 October 1940 in Dublin, Ireland, became one of the most respected actors of his generation. He gained worldwide recognition when he stepped into the role of Professor Albus Dumbledore in Harry Potter and The Prisoner of Azkaban, 2004, following the death of Richard Harris. Gambon was 63 years old when he first appeared as the wise but enigmatic headmaster of Hogwarts, a role he carried through to the end of the series in 2011. Before joining the wizarding world, Gambon had already built an extraordinary career on stage and screen. A protege of Laurence Olivier, he rose to prominence with the National Theatre and later became known for The Singing Detective 1986, which earned him critical acclaim. His film credits included The Cook the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover, 1989, The King's Speech, 2010, and Gosford Park, 2001. Despite his prestige, Gambon sometimes faced criticism from fans who felt his version of Dumbledore was harsher and more volatile than the book's portrayal, a professional controversy that followed him throughout the Harry Potter years. His personal life was also marked by turbulence. Though married to Anne Miller since 1962, Gambon later lived separately and was publicly linked to set designer Philippa Hart, with whom he had 2 children. This complicated arrangement drew media attention, but Gambon remained largely private about his affairs. Financially, he lived comfortably with a net worth estimated around $20 million at the time of his death. Unlike many stars, Gambon was not ostentatious. He preferred a quiet life between London and the countryside, valuing family gardening and antiques over Hollywood glamour. Michael Gambon died on 27 September 2023 at the age of 82 from pneumonia. His passing marked the end of a towering career that spanned 6 decades. Though he left behind no scandalous empire of wealth or estates, he left something greater, a reputation as one of the finest actors of his time. For millions, he will forever be remembered as the fierce yet tender Dumbledore, who guided Harry Potter through his darkest battles. Eric Sykes, born on 4th May 1923 in Oldham, England, was a legendary British comedian, writer, and actor. To younger audiences worldwide, he is remembered for his small but memorable appearance as Frank Bryce, the elderly Muggle groundskeeper of the Riddle House in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, 2005. At that time, Sykes was 82 years old, already a veteran of British entertainment with decades of work behind him. His career stretched far beyond Harry Potter. In the 1950s and 1960s, he became a household name, with Sykes and alongside Hattie Jacques, and wrote for comedic greats, including Peter Sellers and Spike Milligan. He also appeared in films such as The Others 2001 and Those Magnificent Men in Their Flying Machines 1965. Despite his comic brilliance, his later life was marred by serious challenges. Sykes became almost completely deaf and registered blind, yet he continued to work, relying on remarkable determination and resilience. These struggles gave his comedy an undertone of quiet tragedy. He laughed through pain, but the hardships were real. Sykes's personal life was far more stable than many of his peers. He married Edith Milburn in 1957, and they remained together until his death, raising 4 children. He avoided major scandals, but endured the private biopic of physical decline, which restricted his work and forced him to rely increasingly on others. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated around $2 million, modest, compared to modern stars, but reflective of a steady career. He lived a quiet life in Surrey, in a comfortable home rather than luxurious estates. Eric Sykes died on 4th of July 2012 at the age of 89 from natural causes. Though his later years were shadowed by blindness and deafness, his legacy as a comic pioneer remained intact. To the world, he was one of Britain's great funnymen. To Harry Potter fans, he was Frank Bryce, the tragic caretaker, whose fate intertwined with Voldemort's return. Sykes' life was a story of laughter built on resilience, and even in hardship, he never lost his wit. Roger Lloyd Pack, forever remembered for his role as Barty Crouch Sr. in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, 2005, was born on 8 of February 1944 in Islington, London. When he stepped into the wizarding world, he was 61 years old, already a well-established actor in British film theatre and television. Though his screen time in the saga was limited, his cold bureaucratic portrayal of Crouch Sr. left a lasting impression on fans. Before Hogwarts, Pack had already earned fame as Trigger in the beloved sitcom Only Fools and Horses, as well as Owen Newitt in The Vicar of Dibley. He also appeared in films such as Interview with the Vampire, 1994, Vanity Fair, 2004, and Made in Dagenham, 2010. Despite a long and respected career, he was often typecast in supporting roles, something he privately admitted felt like both a blessing and a limitation. His life, though full of artistic achievement, was not free from struggles. Pack dealt with the pressure of being overshadowed by bigger stars, and often found his serious stage work ignored in favor of his comedic roles. In his personal life, his first marriage to Sheila Hughes ended in divorce, a painful chapter that reflected the strain between career and family. Later, he found stability with poet Jehane Markham, with whom he had a daughter, Emily Lloyd, who herself faced mental health battles, adding another layer of heartache to his life. At the time of his death, Roger Lloyd Pack's net worth was estimated at around $1.5 to $2 million, modest, compared to Hollywood standards, but reflective of a steady, respected career. He owned a home in London and valued privacy over luxury. Tragically, Roger Lloyd Pack passed away on 15th of January 2014 from pancreatic cancer at the age of 69. His death shocked colleagues and fans alike, as he was still active in theater shortly before falling ill. Today, his legacy lives not just in Harry Potter, but in the warmth of British comedy and drama. He never sought the limelight, but his understated brilliance made him unforgettable. Peter Cartwright, the South African-born actor who portrayed Elphias Doge in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix 2007, brought quiet dignity to the role of Dumbledore's loyal friend. Born on 30th August 1935 in Krugersdorp, South Africa, he was 72 years old when he appeared in the film. Though his role was small, his presence added authenticity to the Ministry of Magic scenes, capturing the spirit of a steadfast wizard amidst political turmoil. Cartwright's career stretched far beyond Hogwarts. After training at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, he appeared in numerous British television dramas such as Yes Minister, The Professionals, and Doctors. His film credits included Cry Freedom, 1987, Gandhi, 1982, and Wimbledon, 2004. Despite consistent work, Cartwright never became a household name. Much of his career was spent in supporting roles of reality that sometimes left him overshadowed by the stars he shared the screen with. Behind the curtain, his life was marked by dedication rather than scandal. Unlike many of his contemporaries, he managed to avoid public controversies, yet his career trajectory carried its own quiet hardships. The struggle of being recognized yet rarely celebrated weighed on him. And though he remained respected in theater circles, he never quite achieved the breakthrough he longed for. At the time of his death, Peter Cartwright's net worth was estimated to be under $1 million, reflecting a steady but modest career in the arts. He lived a private life in London, away from the glare of celebrity culture. He married, but little was publicized about his family life, keeping those details firmly out of the spotlight. Sadly, Peter Cartwright passed away on 18th of November 2013 at the age of 78, just months before his Harry Potter co-star, Roger Lloyd-Pack, also died. The cause was not widely publicized, but his passing was mourned by colleagues who remembered him as a kind, reliable professional. Today, his legacy endures quietly through his brief but meaningful role in the wizarding world, and his lifelong devotion to the craft of acting. Alan Rickman, immortalized as Professor Severus Snape in the Harry Potter saga, 2001-2011, remains one of cinema's most iconic figures. Born on 21st February 1946 in Hammersmith, London, he was 55 years old when he first appeared in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, 2001. His portrayal of Snape, complex, tormented, and ultimately heroic, defined the character for an entire generation and became the cornerstone of his legacy. Rickman's career stretched across film stage and television. He first rose to international fame as the villain Hans Gruber in Die Hard 1988, and later captivated audiences in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, 1991, Sense and Sensibility, 1995, Galaxy Quest, 1999, Love, Actually 2003, and Sweeney Todd, 2007. His unique voice and commanding presence made him one of the most distinctive actors of his era. Yet despite his success, Rickman sometimes wrestled with the frustration of being typecast as villains, yearning for roles that showcased his vulnerability and humanity. His personal life reflected both stability and quiet sorrow. Rickman spent over 4 decades with his partner Rima Horton, whom he married in 2012, though they never had children. Behind his dignified public image, he carried the pain of losing his father at just 8 years old, a wound that shaped his inner world and sense of responsibility. Financially, Rickman was highly successful with a net worth estimated at $16 million at the time of his death. He owned property in London and valued art, literature, and charity over luxury. Despite his wealth, he lived a grounded life, avoiding Hollywood excess. Tragically, Alan Rickman died on 14th of January 2016 from pancreatic cancer at the age of 69. His death came as a shock to fans and colleagues alike, as he had kept his illness private. The world mourned not only the loss of an actor, but of a man whose generosity and artistry touched countless lives. Today, Alan Rickman's legacy endures in the enduring mystery of Severus Snape, and in the richness of performances that revealed the beauty of flawed humanity. He was an actor of rare depth, one whose absence still feels painfully present. Dave Lagino, remembered by Harry Potter fans as the terrifying Fenrir Greyback, brought raw menace to the werewolf who preyed upon both wizards and muggles. Born on 12th of October 1963 in Marylebone, London, he was 45 years old when he first appeared in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, 2009. His imposing stature and background as a professional fighter made him the perfect choice for the savage Death Eater. Before his time in the wizarding world, Lagino had built a varied career. He was not only an actor, but also a mixed martial artist and boxer, often taking on tough guy roles in films like Snatch 2000, Batman Begins 2005, Elizabeth the Golden Age 2007, and Centurion 2010. Despite his growing presence in cinema, he often found himself cast in secondary roles, struggling to break into leading parts. The physicality of his career was both a blessing and a burden. His athleticism brought him work, but it also limited the range of roles he was offered. His life off-screen carried its own hardships. He faced financial struggles earlier in his career. Working security jobs and odd work before acting provided stability. His personal life also held its share of pain, though he was a devoted father to his daughter Wendy. His relationships were largely kept private, and he never enjoyed the stability of a long-term public marriage. At the time of his death, Dave Logino's net worth was estimated at around $500,000 to $1 million, modest compared to Hollywood elites, but reflective of a hard-working career. He lived simply and was passionate about fitness and outdoor exploration, finding peace away from the spotlight. Tragedy struck in July 2014 when Logino was found dead in California's Death Valley after a hiking expedition. He had succumbed to heat-related complications, passing away at the age of 50. Alone in one of the harshest places on Earth, his death shocked the film community and left fans mourning a man whose strength masked a quiet vulnerability. Today, Dave Logino is remembered not only for his chilling portrayal of Grayback, but also as a fighter, father, and artist who gave everything he had to his craft, even if recognition never fully matched his talent. Helen Elizabeth McCrory, born on 17th of August 1968 in Paddington, London, became unforgettable to millions of fans as Narcissa Malfoy, the elegant yet cold wife of Lucius, and mother of Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter films. She first appeared in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince 2009 at the age of 40, and reprised the role in the final two films, embodying the conflicted aristocratic figure whose loyalty to family overshadowed allegiance to Voldemort. Before her Hogwarts fame, Helen built a distinguished career in theater and film, with roles in Interview with the Vampire 1994, The Queen 2006, and later as the fierce Aunt Polly in Peaky Blinders, a part that cemented her reputation as one of Britain's most commanding actresses. Despite her talent, she faced career setbacks. She was originally cast as Bellatrix Lestrange in Harry Potter and The Order of the Phoenix 2007, but had to withdraw due to pregnancy, a bittersweet professional disappointment. Her net worth at the time of her passing was estimated around $25 million, largely from her acting career, and shared assets with her husband, actor Damian Lewis. Yet her life was not untouched by tragedy. Helen fought a private battle with cancer, keeping it hidden, even from close colleagues, a decision that reflected both her strength and her desire to shield her family. She married Damian Lewis in 2007, and together they had 2 children. Their marriage was considered one of the most solid in the British acting world. The couple owned valuable properties in London, reflecting their success and stability. Sadly, Helen McCrory died on 16th of April 2021 at just 52 years old after succumbing to cancer. Her death left a profound void in British theater and television. Today she is remembered not only for her magnetic performances, but also for her grace, resilience, and quiet courage in facing life's harshest battles. David John Ryle, born on 5 January 1935 in Shoreham, BC, England, became known to Harry Potter fans worldwide when he appeared as Elphias Doge, a loyal friend of Albus Dumbledore in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Part 1, 2010. He joined the wizarding world at the age of 75, bringing warmth and authenticity to the small but memorable role. Ryle's career stretched far beyond Hogwarts. A trained stage actor with the Royal National Theatre, he worked under legendary director Laurence Olivier, and later took part in numerous plays, films, and TV series. His filmography includes The Elephant Man, 1980, Truly Madly, Deeply, 1990, City of Ember, 2008, and the BBC series Outnumbered. Despite his long career, he often played supporting roles, never reaching the global stardom some of his peers did, which sometimes left him overshadowed and struggling for wider recognition. Financially, his estimated net worth at the end of his life was around $1 to over $2 million, modest, compared to many Hollywood figures, but reflective of a steady career in British film and television. Unlike some actors, Ryle avoided scandals. His life was more marked by the quiet disappointments of being underappreciated despite immense talent. David Ryle was married and had children, including actress Charlie Ryle, though details of his personal life remain largely private. He was respected for his humility and devotion to family. Property-wise, he lived a comfortable but unflashy life, never flaunting wealth. Tragically, Ryle passed away on 25 December 2014 at the age of 79, reportedly from natural causes. His death on Christmas Day cast a somber note over the British acting community. Though gone, he is remembered as a versatile performer who gave dignity and humanity to every role, leaving behind a legacy of quiet brilliance. Sir John Vincent Hurt, born on 22nd January 1940 in Chesterfield, Derbyshire, became a beloved figure to Harry Potter audiences as Mr. Garrick Ollivander, the eccentric wandmaker who introduced Harry to the magical world in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, 2001. He was 61 years old when he first took on the role, later reprising it in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, 2010-2011. His haunting portrayal of the frail yet wise wandmaker gave emotional depth to the films. Hurt's career spanned over 5 decades with standout performances in The Elephant Man, 1980, Alien 1979, Midnight Express, 1978, 1984, 1984, V for Vendetta, 2005, and Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy, 2011. Renowned for his distinctive voice and ability to inhabit tragic, broken characters, Hurt became one of Britain's most respected actors. Yet success was often accompanied by hardship. He endured professional disappointments, periods of heavy drinking, and turbulent relationships that shadowed his personal life. His financial success reflected his prolific career, with an estimated net worth of around $30 million at the time of his death. Despite the wealth, Hurt's personal life was tumultuous. He married 4 times, with 3 marriages ending in divorce. He had 2 sons, but his family life was marked by strain and instability. In 2015, Hurt was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, a devastating blow to the actor and his admirers. Though initially responding well to treatment, his health declined. He died on 25 January 2017, just 3 days after his 77th birthday. Today, John Hurt is remembered not only for his role in Harry Potter, but also as a chameleon of cinema, a man whose haunting performances mirrored the struggles and fragility of his own life. His legacy remains that of a gifted, deeply human actor who turned pain into unforgettable art. Which character from Harry Potter 2001-2011 holds a special place in your heart? How does it make you feel, knowing that the beloved cast members are no longer with us? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments below. If you've been enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.